Have you ever caught yourself doing something you knew wasn't good for you? I have. And don't get me wrong, eating chips and watching a TV show or relaxing and eating some junk food is totally fine. We all need this. But not when you promised yourself that you would do something entirely different. Okay, let's not start with rocket science and start off easy. First one is instant gratification. A lot of harmful habits and behaviors feel good and give us quick relief, and that adrenaline rush that we crave so much, which can seem more tempting than making healthier choices, for example. Second one is habits and routine. Once something becomes a habit, it's really hard to break, especially the negative one. Even more if that's already a part of your routine. For example, always watching something while you eat, or you want to start reading after work, but you have a routine, a habit of turning on a TV or playing video games or something like that. That's already engraved in your life, and you've done these actions over and over and over again. Like me, for example, I can eat something without watching something, but it's so hard, and I'm always just like, I need something. I need to read something or to watch something or to entertain me. I don't know why. And that's just a habit. I've done it over and over again, like 100, 200 times, and that is why it stuck with me so much. Third one is emotional regulation. We often turn to unhealthy behaviors to cope with stress, anxiety, grief, sadness, and other emotions that we rather not feel. And that's understandable because they provide a temporary escape from that emotion. For example, binging a TV show or binge eating. We love it so much because we kind of disappear into another world if we are watching a TV show or reading a book. Sometimes it's even lack of awareness, because in many cases people do not understand the consequences of their actions in the long run, and they might underestimate the risks that are involved. Mostly it happens because of misinformation or lack of education on that specific topic. Fifth one is cognitive dissonance. It's an uncomfortable feeling that people get when they do something that doesn't align with their beliefs. For example, you know that smoking isn't good, that it's harmful, that it's not gonna do anything good to you, it's gonna harm you in so many ways. And after you do smoke, maybe because of peer pressure or because you're stressed or because, after you do that thing that doesn't align with your beliefs, you clash between what you think and what you do. And in order to avoid this uncomfortable feeling, we just find a reason, a justification of why we did that thing. Like, why did we smoke a cigarette when we know it's not good for us? Sixth one is evolution. We are wired to seek pleasure and avoid any pain. And this leads to prioritizing immediate rewards over long-term health considerations. As an example, our ancestors, when they killed something or did something to find food or whatever, they had to go back in caves and do nothing. They needed to do as little movement as possible just to save their energy in case they needed to go again, in case they needed more food or something would attack them, and so on. So we're evolutionally predisposed to save our energy, just sit and save our energy. That's why it's so hard, one of the reasons why it's so hard to go to the gym, because we're evolutionally predisposed to sit and save our energy in case something bad happens. But the chances of a lion attacking us or some other wild animal attacking us is so rare, and we do not really have this concern today, but because of the evolution, we still have that. However, it's quite different for teenagers, because the baseline of dopamine, the feel-good chemical in a brain, drops in adolescence. And that's why for teenagers, it's no longer fun to do things that they liked before. And this means that the things they liked, they no longer do. But their adrenaline level spikes anytime they do something new. Novelty, doing something new, spikes their adrenaline level. So they can only feel alive and exciting when facing something new. Their brain also will downplay any risks a certain situation could have if there are any positive gain. even a little one. But that is also what helps them to take risks more freely and try to do any unknown things that other people would be scared of. But there are some people that would argue with the title of this video and would say that we never do things that are bad for us. Let me explain. We all break promises to ourselves, right? Our monthly workout plan alters, changes whenever we want it to, whenever it's convenient for us. Despite promising ourselves that we would go to sleep at that certain hour, we still stay up late scrolling or searching for something or just in our phone. When we try to live a healthy life or even healthier life, usually we know things that are good for us. Working out is good for us, eating healthy is good for us, meditation, all these cliche stuff are good for us. And we know this. And we know what we should do in order to live a healthier life. But in reality, it's harder to follow through, even if we know what is better. This is confusing. Shouldn't it be easy to follow through with the things that align with your belief? That if you think that working out is good, you work out. If you think eating this salad is gonna be good for you, you eat the salad. Shouldn't be easy? In theory, yes. But in reality, somehow it doesn't work that way. This was puzzling for the ancient Greek philosophers too. So they did what ancient Greek philosophers did. They gave this phenomenon a name. May I present to you akrasia, which means acting against one's better judgment. It's literally when you know what's best for you, but you don't actually do it. Like, for example, procrastinating, even though you know it would be good to finish that essay or that homework or that project. Very popular ancient Greek philosopher didn't think it was possible that we did things that don't align with our beliefs, because all our voluntary actions were the product of a reason. According to him, someone who decided to do something have judged that it's the best thing for them to do in that moment. Interesting, right? And in some way true. Because, for example, when we choose to eat junk food over healthy food, we don't necessarily think that, oh, I'm gonna eat this pack of chips and I'm gonna be healthier. No, we just think it's better for me now because I'm stressed and I just want this that would feel better, that would make me feel better. And doesn't matter how many times we're gonna eat those chips and choose chips over healthy foods. It doesn't matter how many times we're gonna feel sick from those chips. We're gonna return to that same situation again. We're gonna be like, okay, but I don't want to eat that healthy whole food thing. I just want to eat this popcorn or this ice cream or something like that. Because we feel that it will make us good in a moment. We just want it. We just crave it. You know? Also, now that I think of it, whenever I buy some junk food, I know that it will make me feel bad, but I still eat it. So that's topic for another video. But as Socrates put it, whoever learns what is good and what is bad will never be swayed by anything to act otherwise than as knowledge bids. It sounds great, but in real life, not everything is so simple. And later, Socrates noticed this contradictory phenomenon, and he tried to understand it. And his explanation for someone acting against their best interests is that they made a mistake. What is the best thing for them to do? If you chose to smoke cigarette, for example, you just fell prey to an illusion that it was good. Another very popular philosopher also came up with a word, and that word is akretic, which is what happens when you change your mind about what's good for you in the face of temptation or desires. Both Aristotle and Socrates believed akrasia was just failure of reason. In Middle Ages, this idea of akrasia took a moral dimension, and people started to see akrasia as sin. The belief at that time was that if person was giving into temptations, they were not only going against their own belief, but also falling short of moral and religious standards. That is why we feel so guilty after we do something unhealthy, in a way. Because we think that we should have known better. All the ancient work on akrasia presumes that people are inherently rational human beings. And whoever was a human, even for a day, knows that is not true. And a lot of modern philosophers argue that humans are not rational and that we often do the things that don't align with our goals. And that is totally true, because you can say that you want to go to gym and then not go to gym, which means that you didn't want to go to gym as much as you thought you did. Economists also highlight that we tend to focus on the rewards right now rather than those that are in the future, a behavior which is called hyperbolic discounting. This explains why we sometimes choose short-term pleasures over long-time beliefs. Some experts also suggest that the problem may be not just our desires, but the environment around us. Our society often makes things harder by instant gratification or peer pressure and etc. To achieve your goals, it could be more effective to put in place a defined plan that doesn't let you to reconsider. The psychologist Peter Goldwitzer called it an implementation intention, which is basically come up with statements if, then. For example, if it's Thursday, then I'm gonna do yoga. If it's Wednesday, I will not eat junk food or something like that. I just gave you rough examples, but this practice also is described in the book Atomic Habits, as I remember maybe something similar to this and not exactly like this thing, but check out that book because that book is gold, honestly. As an extreme example of this practice is Victor Hugo, because when he wrote The Hunchback of Notre Dame, he told his assistant to lock away all his clothes so he would stay inside writing. But I mean, the guy got the job done. I have a copy of that book in my somewhere there is a copy of that book. So I don't think we have to be that extreme, but to everyone their own, as they say. Ultimately, doing things that aren't good for us is a part of our nature. But we can always find ways to make better choices by, for example, understanding why we do bad choices in the first place. Okay, this is the end of this video and I hope you liked it. So subscribe if you want to see more videos. If you don't subscribe. I'm not gonna force anyone to do anything. And I'll see you in a few weeks or in a week. Don't know when the next video is gonna be, honestly. Or I'll see you in a few seconds if you wanna watch any of my videos. So take care of yourselves, and I love you. Bye!